What is up, my friends? It is Bloodthirsty Thursday. It is Matt, and this is episode number 4. I hope you all are having a fantastic day thus far. Mine's been pretty good. Usual standard and procedures. Today's movie is an very interesting one. It's one that is very artistic, beautifully shot. I mean, this one is cream of the crop when it comes to technical side of filmmaking and the things you can do and how you have your characters portrayed on the screen. Like, it's a beautiful piece of artwork here. Now, as far as the movie goes, it's really good, but it is kind of dull. I found myself getting bored in places, but I also I see what the point of it was. It wasn't just me that was feeling that way. It's just a slow burn, and I wouldn't even call it a horror film, even though it has horror fantasy aspects to it. And it's from 1970, and it is, I believe, a Polish film. I forgot to check that there, but it doesn't say in my notes. I'm sorry, I forgot to double check that. But it stars Jaroslava, Schallerová, Helena, Anýzová, Petr, Kopriva, and Jirí, Prýmek, and it's directed by Jaromil, Jires. I murdered each and every one of those, and I am extremely sorry to my friends that know how to pronounce those names. I am so sorry. And it's called Valerie and Her Week of Wonders. Yeah, it's a very interesting movie. I love this cover art. It's very it's what drew me in. It's just eye-catching. This is the Criterion release, so there, if you didn't notice the Criterion logo up here. As far as features go, or at least how it is, no reversible cover art as usual for Criterion, but it does have a nice little inside piece, or something you can look at, some artwork you can look at, and it's got this nice little open fold out booklet, which is very cool. It's an interesting read. Yeah, it's a little bit of a read, but it's no book, but interesting stuff. And as far as the disc goes, that's what the disc looks like. And as far as any kind of features go, let me get that set for you here real quick, folks. There we go, and I'll go ahead and hold that there for you so you can check that out. Alright, yes, there you go. As far as this is not a long one. It's only running at an hour and 27 minutes, so just under that 90-minute mark, which is where I kind of like my movies to be. I don't do so swell when it gets up over that 2-hour mark. I start to get antsy or bored. Mostly antsy because I have a hard time sitting still. And when it's a very slow, boring movie, it's going to make it even worse, Now, what is this about? It's a huge metaphor for a girl basically growing into her adulthood, which with the blood on the flower, it is a huge it's a metaphor for that. It's for a girl getting her period and the blossoming of becoming a woman. And there are you start off with this dude, Orick, I think was his name, and Orick. He is like this almost vampire-esque creature, or I don't know what I really would call him, because he is very, he can like almost fly, but you never really truly, I guess, get a full grasp of him. And then there's these other two characters. I forget their names off the top of my head, but they're both religious characters, and they are very interesting. And they are bloodsuckers. They seek the souls, basically. They are a huge metaphor of how the church is. They're nothing but archaic vampires that feed off of our souls and treat us as though we're children, essentially, because that's how they treat all of the commoners, the people like you or I. They treat them like they're children, and it's kind of pathetic in ways that people would fall for this. But then again, when you have nothing in your life except for religion, and that's what you've been brought up on, that's all you're gonna know. And for me to be judgmental on that, I shouldn't be, because we all have our different beliefs. We all have different things that we're into, and religion is one of those that it can make or break you. And I mean that by, it can either make you a better and a great person, or it can make you the worst. It can bring out your darkest sides. That's unfortunately what happens sometimes. So, you get this whole metaphor for the church, and it's an interesting movie. It's highly sexualized, almost awkward in the sexuality, because she's only supposed to be 13 years old. It's almost like a Lolita story, except for, you can really tell she's like 17 or 18 years old, and there is a lot of nudity. Not just her. You never like. It's never like distasteful, I should say, and it's not done. And to be quite honest, I looked away on some of the parts when you could see her breasts, because I didn't want to. I didn't want to look at that, just because it was a child in my eyes. As somebody who's almost 40 years old, that would just be wrong of me to look at a child and get turned on and see a sexual fantasy there, which the whole Lolita thing is. And she's got that going on, because these two men from the church are just all about her and her mother and the house that they live in, and wanting everything from this mother and daughter. Like, it's interesting, and I do not suggest this for anybody. This is for people that like a good artistic film with some fantasy aspect. Not just slightly artistic, highly artistic, like something on the level of like Jodorowsky's El Topo or Holy Mountain, kind of like that. It's very, very fantastical. Or The Beast from Valarie and Boswick, or however his last name is pronounced. I know the first name is Valerian. It's very, very, very artistic. As far as a rating goes on this one, I would give this one probably a 4. As far as a technical side, it is very, very, very well done. Now, on an entertainment or a story side, the story is very well put together and does mesh and flow together like it should be. But there are some lulls in there that found me kind of like nodding off a little bit, because it was the late night movie for the one we watched before we head to bed. So it had some lulls in there that made me wish the tempo picked up. So I'll give that a 3 on that side. So we'll just give this one an overall for and call it good. Like I said, I don't suggest this for anyone though. Tomorrow is a wild one. We just finished it last night, and holy moly, Unearthed got a great title under their belt. I know I am a fanboy. I throw out their stuff a lot, but I love their stuff. All right, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, morning, dawn, or dusk. Whenever it is when you're watching this, I hope you're having a great time with some family, with some friends, with some loved ones, doing whatever it is that makes you happy, because that's always what's important in life, is taking care of yourself, making yourself happy, and making your friends and family happy. All right, guys. Peace. Oh, I got to figure out, hit the stop button here. Let's try this again.